Vinyl Lastic is primer. This is white, and this is your primer.
1, 2, 3, ideal.
He's gonna paint?
He's gonna paint.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna finish the trim on the window.
Isabel, how are you?
Fabulous. So today we're working on finishing painting the inside of the house. Right now, Carlito is painting the roof. So we have to use, what is it called? It's VersaFlat. So the ceilings are always painted with the flat. So that, like, it doesn't catch your eye as well as like the satin because it's shiny. That's what we will use on the walls. So we have to wait for the ceiling to dry, and then we'll go in and we'll tape the ceiling, and then we will paint the walls. And I assume that probably after lunch we'll be able to do that. That's why give us enough time for it to dry, and we'll put a fan in there and stuff. And in the meantime, I'm gonna be working on the trim for the windows. And then we also have to finish putting in some things up on the roof.
Yeah.
We're waiting for more trim to do on the walls and on the roof so we can put our, what's it called? Our tar paper.
What pieces are left to do?
The top on this one. Side on this one. And that will be easy. I can just go. Yesterday we had cut some pieces down already. So I'll see what fits, and then I find it easiest just to scribe it. So just bring it up here, put it up against it, and then just with the pencil just mark it. And you know, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I'm pretty good at cutting those 45-degree angle cuts. So I can do this. Figure it out. He's a funny guy. Austin's coming in and out of his house. I'll leave it there for now while I go get a nail gun.
You do know what you're good at.
I'm good at drywall. It's almost there. I did it. So I'm gonna have to take both of these sides off because I cut them a little bit too long. So when I put this piece on top, it did sit perfectly on it, but unfortunately it had too much of a gap. So I could fill it with caulking, but you don't really want that big of a gap. So I'm gonna have to go back and cut these first. I'm gonna take these bad boys out of here. Right after I said that, I realized that this side doesn't matter because this is going against the wall. You're not recording.
What?
You're not recording it. So I'm making an angled cut. My sides were just a little bit too long. So I marked it, and I'm just trying to see where this is off. I don't have my fingers on the safety or anything. I'm trying to see where the saw will end. Yes, it'll start here, but with the angled cuts, it's kind of weird. You kind of actually want to pay attention to roughly where it'll end back here. So just by pushing the saw down, I can see where it's going to end. So that's where I'll either push it in a little bit or pull it back a little bit. Because up here, it's gonna make just the tiniest little sliver of a cut, but in the back, it's where it's gonna make the bigger difference. And it's weird, it's hard to explain but it's just angles, you know, like with the crown molding. Oh my gosh, that was hard. Talk about angles. This is not so bad, but you just have to remember that with the angled cuts, less is more, and if you need to trim off a little bit extra, you can just do that. It's easier. If you go too far and you're like, oh, this looks good, then you end up taking off way too much. So I'm just trying to get it even to the other piece that I just cut, so I can go pry off the other piece and just nail these both in. Hopefully everything will be good. We'll find out. Let's see if we're gonna be frustrated or if we're gonna be dancing. Yeah, on the side. So that's why I, since they're both the side pieces, I just went ahead and cut them now so that they look like they're about the same. This one might be a little bit longer, but just a hair. So we'll go look and see. I'm just trying to make sure that there isn't too much of a gap down here compared to up here. But I just gotta be careful. Ideally, I would like it to be flush with this and with this right here. But even like this piece of wood here moved after I nailed it in. So I don't think it's gonna be perfectly flush, but that's okay. That's what the caulking is for. So at this point, just trying to make sure that it's not, that it looks even. Thank you. I really don't want to take off the other board if I don't have to. I can because I cut it, but
that's perfect.
it looks nicer over here than over here though.
No, I'm actually putting primer on before the paint so the paint has something to stick to. It absorbs into the primer. Just finished the bedroom, gonna make my way down the hallway and into the bathroom.
Now, why is it important to put primer on first? Is that what you said the paint could stick?
Yeah, it's important to put the primer on because when you put the primer on, depending on the background color, our background color I think is white or beige, but that white or beige will absorb into the primer and make it stick a lot better. It won't peel as much. You gotta put primer on before you paint. Going pretty good. Just finished half the hallway. I'm gonna get started on this other half of the, oh, that's why you can't have the hoses touch the wall. But I just got done with this half the hallway. I'm gonna do this half the hallway with a pocket door, finish the roof off, and then make my way into the bathroom. And I should be done in about 30 minutes or so.
How important is it to have the light shining in the right direction?
Oh,
glare, right?
yeah, 100%. You see me move the light every time I move walls because there's some patches, if I'm in the shadow, there's some patches I won't see, I'll have to go over again. And depending on, like I said, depending on what type of paint you use, you'll see those patches where you didn't hit as well, where you didn't get the primer hit the wall as well. You'll see little dark and light patches on the wall.
OSHA says we need to be harnessed up if we're gonna be up above 6 feet or higher. So that's why we need a harness. And it's fall protection, so I'm gonna tie up there and I'm gonna install the jacks and then the cover for the vent. I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna look at Dylan's. I'm not sure. I feel like it's the one for, I can like visualize it, but my mouth can't say it. I don't think I wanna take my whole pouch. Here, I'm gonna leave some of this on my workbench. So this is new to me, so I'm just, sometimes we're not really told exactly what to do because you have to actually be doing it. It's like this is the first time that we've put one of these in, but Dylan already did his on his roof, so I'm basically just looking to see how he did it. And I messed up. The vent is for the fan in the bathroom, but there is a vent behind you for the washer and dryer. It's gonna look like this one. So this rubber here is what I have to cut, and it looks like it's probably not this first ring, but the second one. I don't know if you can see that.
So what about this one?
So this will just fit over this piece here, but that little hole is too narrow, so I have to cut it. And I believe that that's about 3 inches, so this is the size that I'm gonna cut. It's the bigger one. Tack these in place. Yeah, it's the metal that's just hard to get through. You wanna come check? You wanna come check? You wanna come check?
You wanna come check?
Fuera para que ya se quedara. Oh my God. So it was taking me a long time because I'm trying not to smash my fingers by holding. Sometimes you have to hold it like a cigarette so your hands, your finger stays flat. But I still can't hit the hammer as hard as I know I can because I don't want to smash my fingers. So I just found out that if you use your pliers and hold it, then, oh man, still hard. Hold on, gotta get it just right. There we go. A lot less times. I mean, at this point, with it being the third build, I don't feel like at this stage with what we're doing right now, I've learned a ton. It's honestly more refining what skills I've already learned, you know, and just continuously just needing less help from Nelson because I remember like, oh, this is supposed to have this many nails in it, or this is supposed to be this big, or what's missing there is blocked, whatever, you know. I did install these, and it's actually really easy. It's not, there's no rocket science behind it. You just gotta nail them in place.
Safe to say that that at this stage in the game, you're basically more than anything else committing things to muscle memory.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, it's already knowing what to do and just fine tuning those things and just really that muscle memory. Just like I said, you don't really need help. You don't have to think about it anymore because you get it.
Yeah, we'll leave them there for auction.
For breakfast tomorrow.
Don't invade our space.
Oh my God.
You're freaking out.